months, you know, I mean, so it's constantly going, but it's more part of a routine now than it is something that necessarily.
So you kind of adapted over time to
Absolutely.
get into the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Rex?
Yeah, it was a huge. Well, I mean, like, it takes a lot of time. Like, I don't know how you do 11, 12 shows a year, man. Like, we started with 8 shows a year. We've cut back to like 5, and we're like, we can do this right, you know, in our way, you know. I mean, and working as an artist, really bringing Richard on board has helped a tremendous amount. And being it's a balancing act. It really is, but it does help a lot because art becomes your life, right? I mean, it really, like, every facet of your life becomes art, and it's really a privilege and really wonderful.
Louis?
It is a great feeling to provide opportunities to artists that I never had a chance to.
But how does it affect your own work?
I was going that way. And that's probably the best part. That it makes you proud. But after 4 years of doing it, it kind of started getting heavy. And so it does affect the space in your mind. So I think as a community organizer, it should be a time that it should start slowing down. I'm at that time right now. Stop slowing down.
Do any of you have any advice for artists who might want to start their own space? Whoever has advice, pipe up.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. Like,
Okay, so
hang
no,
sheet
no
rock
great
and go
insights
for it.
there. Okay.
There are no rules.
Okay. A more practical question: how can an artist who you might not know about, how can they show in your space?
I've always let people approach me in all sorts of unorthodox ways. Nowadays, people, if they ask me, I tell them to send me a proposal, and it doesn't mean that we're always looking for something, but it's like if you have a good proposal sent to you, you know, when you're looking through, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a cool idea. So, I mean, but yeah.
Do others of you have a system in place if somebody wants to show at your space?
I mean, for Unity in the beginning, you know, we used to accept submissions just randomly, just kind of ongoing. And I think, you know, with everybody having their own websites and things now, it's a little different, so people can just send you a link. But I don't get nearly as many, like, you know, unsolicited submissions like I used to. And I get more, like, verbal approaches from people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I still stay connected to the Chicago community and other artists that I've shown throughout the time, and stay connected with them and kind of reintroduce them into San Antonio. But I mean, we always have the San Antonio home team and Texas home team advantage.
There's no dearth of art to show here.
That's right.
Yeah. Rex?
Yeah, so.
You know, talk to me or talk to Richard. When we say that, that doesn't mean give like 900 emails and, you know, but just talk. Talk to us.
So you're approachable, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Aren't you guys approachable?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Louis?
I think it's the same way. It's based on relationships and being
So if
honest.
someone wants to show, they could come to your opening and just say, hey, I'd like you to come see my work.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's turn the house lights on and give the audience a chance to ask some things that may be on their minds. And we have a microphone that will be passed, so just please wait for the mics because we're recording it. Do you have any questions from the audience for these entrepreneurs? Yes, up in the front here, and the mic is on its way.
So it's Justin. Yes. All right. So Justin with light. Okay.
I don't have one either.
Yes, you do.
Testing. Yeah.
Did you hit the mute button?
It's on.
Okay, great. So Justin, you have a bumper sticker that says "Keep San Antonio Lane," and then Rex, your studio mission statement is to take San Antonio to the world. So contradictions in terms of what's going on. How are all 4 of you seeing how the San Antonio art scene is being perceived differently
also think it's about as lame as Austin is weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I took it to mean like,
it's just a silly response, but
don't move here, come visit, but I don't mean, yeah.
well, there was actually, we were, one year, it was like 2004 maybe, Contemporary Art Month put an ad out that was in Art America and a bunch of other publications, and it was like, it's hot here, it's miserable, it's blah, blah, don't come here, keep San Antonio lame. By the way, we have Contemporary Art Month. You know, like, it was, I'm not retelling it perfectly, but it was something to that, you know, like that.
And with, I mean, our approach is the same as anybody's here. You just want to share with everybody what you love so much, you know? So I think that's why we just say take it to the world, because the art world works in relationships. I mean, when Jill said it, it's just like the people you know, the people who you see eye to eye with, the people you don't see eye to eye with, and you just try as best you can to keep sane, but try to help as many as you can without going nuts, you know? I think that's kind of we're all artists, you know? We want to show people awesome stuff. That's like the bottom line, I guess. You know?
And I think actually it's healthy that we have different approaches and that not everyone has the same, you know, motto, so to speak. That San Antonio is such a thriving art city that we have all this diversity, and so the character, I think, of each space is different from each other space, which makes it really more interesting than if they were all alike. So do we have any other questions from the audience? In the front here, just pass the mic.
Do you think because San Antonio is less expensive place to live, that helps the art community? Because I lived in Austin for a long time and I saw it drying up because it was just, they couldn't live there.
It's a great launching off point.
It's a double-edged sword at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, here, rent is cheap, but the buyer base for stuff is a little challenging. So, depends on what you consider, like, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword. It's wonderful. I love San Antonio. It's like my favorite place in the universe, but there are challenges.
Not, people don't want to put out a good amount of money.
I don't know if it's that they don't want to. I don't know if they can. You're not going to sell a $200,000 painting every other month like you do in New York. I mean, just look at numbers and people and stuff like that. And that's not everybody's goal. You know, I mean, some people are happy selling a $50 drawing. Just depends on where you're going with it, you know.
Which is why I think it's a great jumping off point. So you can afford to live as an artist and have a studio and have a living space, and you know, a lot more easily than if you were to say, I'm going to go be an artist in New York. You're 3 weeks in, you'd be on the street if you want to, you know. If you started with what I started with when I started Flight, which was $315, you know, there's no way. Like, I'm like, I have $300 saved. I'm gonna rent an art space and have a gallery. Like, that would never happen anywhere in San Antonio.
And that's actually why, one of the main reasons I moved Unit B back to San Antonio is because I knew I could get, it was challenging to live and prosper in Chicago on $30,000 a month. Even though I didn't have a car and all that, I was still having to pay back my student loans and blah, blah, blah. And I was running the gallery too, and it was all out of pocket. It didn't cost a lot to put on a show necessarily, but when you want to bring people into your community from outside of your normal network, like regionally or nationally or internationally, then you're faced with these other challenges like, I don't have insurance and I can't afford to ship it to you, you know, and all these things. You want to, I've, as a gallery, kind of dealt with the ebbs and flows of that too, where we were really aggressive. We got some money from a fundraiser and we had enough money to ship some things down and have a curator from New York come in, and when we shipped everything back, 2 pieces broke. It was terribly expensive, and the artist was not cool about it, and his gallery made us pay $3,500 to pay for the piece. So it does have, it's really great things about it. And
It's potential hazards as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other questions from the audience? Well, thank you all for coming out on this Friday night, and thank you to all our panelists. And come visit their spaces.